UK has invested heavily in offshore wind, and we see huge potential in India, particularly in Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. My colleague Vidya Soundarajan, who's pretending that she's not listening, who's wearing the very fetching white suit, is the expert in that area. We are very interested in renewable energy. The UK has a USP, and we have a competitive advantage in that area. And there are also probable funding streams for things like research, which, as Alpesh mentioned, is one of the big stories in the UK-India partnership. I didn't mention research, but 5 years ago, there was about £1 million worth of joint research happening between the UK and India. That's now £150 million, and it's growing exponentially. The amount of really advanced transformational research happening in UK and Indian institutions is beyond belief, and it will change the world that we live in. And I think renewable energy is one of the areas where that absolutely there's scope for that. So perhaps if you could just find Vidya afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, this is Professor Koka. We work on the solar power projects. And because of the renewables is one of the world talked about, and India is looking for more than 1 lakh megawatts. So how UK would like to work with us in the Indian scenario? And also we have a few projects outside India. So how do you think you would associate and work in funding and also on the technology?
Rather than me give you bad information on solar, Vidya, could I just ask you to take the microphone on and say something about renewables? This is my phone a friend moment.
Hello. Hello. Sorry,
So we did ask Vidya to become a panelist, and now she's paying the price for saying no.
Okay, sorry, thank you very much for putting me in a solar glare. Sorry, can I have the question again, please, instead of me generically?
Yes, ma'am, the point is there's an opportunity, great opportunity in India, where about 1 lakh megawatts have to come within the 10 years. And we're also looking into joint ventures in different countries and Africa. So how you think you could work with the Indian company, and what are the modalities and so and so forth?
Sure. So just to give a quick background, I think UK has prioritized solar energy in India as one of the key areas, and through our Science and Innovation Network and the other networks, we have invested some money in bringing the cost down for solar and making it a lot more market friendly in that sense. And we do think that in the last 3 to 4 years, because of a lot of research and the market forces, the prices have come down, and this target is very much achievable. We have a couple of ongoing bilateral programs where we are trying to help states develop state-level action plans where renewable energy development, both at the level of technology and as well as the level of industry, are focus areas. Having said that, we are also looking at it from a very business-to-business support point of view, and energy is one of our key areas where we try and bring the sort of evolved technology and evolved products from UK to India. And as Bharat mentioned a couple of minutes ago, offshore wind, there is a huge potential in India because of a huge coastline. So we are trying to help India develop the ecosystem and install a lot of offshore wind. Onshore wind, hybrid wind and solar. So there is a huge opportunity for cooperation at multiple levels, ranging from research to actual product development. And investment, on that note, so the Green Investment Bank a couple of months ago made an announcement on coming in as VC partners for renewable energy in India, which is about Of course, they made an announcement for India, China, and Mexico, and India remains a key partner, and they are in the process of meeting big Indian energy companies and coming in as VC for renewable energy development in India. So that's where we go. Thank you.
Thank you. And just to add in, because you mentioned specifically about Africa and how can we help you there? Well, one of the ways we can help you is perhaps to team up with British companies who are also in parts of the same sort of industry so that we can work together and go together into Africa. So again, the UKTI colleagues can help facilitate that for you as well. But that's, so teaming up with other countries for our mutual benefit is part of our equation.
Thank you.
Thanks. We've run half an hour over time. I know we started slightly late, so we're going to take one more question. If there are any other questions after that, I suggest you either leave them for the end of the second session or come and find us at our country pavilion. So we'll take one last question.
This is to the public health person. Now that this hepatitis B is becoming a big issue globally, and WHO also has given a lot of warnings towards India and Africa and Egypt. Traditionally, Tamil Nadu is very strong in herbal medicine. And we do have a herbal product that can address the issue of this hepatitis B. How do I approach, and is there any herbal funding or herbal intelligence or support? Because it will be a very unique solution to a problem.
What a good question. Usually it's the case, it's the last question that's the best. I think rather than in front of it, I'd like to talk with you about what your evidence is and how you've done your clinical trials and the impact of your work.
Yes.
Certainly we know that in the medicines of the Indian people, that we know that this is traditional, hundreds and hundreds of years of impact. And only this morning we were having a conversation about how does this fit with modern medicine and science. And we have to be open to the different possibilities, but we need to remember it's what works that matters and how we can prove efficacy and safety. So I'd love to talk with you about the work you've done
Definitely.
to make the case, if you like.
Sure.
And then we can also talk more widely about vaccination and immunization and how important that is, which you'll know is second only to clean water in the difference it makes to preserving life, and particularly for our children. So I'd love to have that conversation.
Sure. I'll meet.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So could we just say thank you to our panelists for our first session? And if I could now ask Dr. Sam Paul, Mr. Rajiv Macheri, Mr. Rahul Raghavan, Mr. Prashant Jana to come to the stage, and for Alpesh to please stay on the stage. So we're going to move into our second session on entrepreneurship. This will be a very interactive session, so please don't leave. There are lots of seats available at the front for those of you who are standing at the back, so please move forward.